4 ways you can protect your child when it comes to toxic relationships and having, I guess, toxic friends. First things first, Collett, is you need to identify that they're hanging out with toxic people. So I guess there's some steps to getting there, but what can we do?
Look, sometimes even in children's relationships there can be some really toxic people around them, but sometimes relationships just explode and they just end, and it can be difficult with children really trying to interact. We need to just help our children recognise that friendships can be wonderful and awful in the same day. But when it's toxic, that's a very different thing. We're talking about really here recognising signs of what we call relational aggression. So they're the kind of times when someone leaves you out of the bus seating plan.
Intentionally being
intentional. It's very intentional, very often premeditated, keeping you off of social media chat groups. Boys get excluded from offline games, and then even those, oh, we're just joking, or the banter, really mean things, but always kind of ended with, I was just joking, but everybody knew they weren't joking. So it's helping our children recognise what's going on there. So essentially, what we often do is we talk to our children about expressing their hurt. So allowing our children to feel heard, letting our children come to us and just pour out their emotion, pour out what's going on for them. Sometimes they might take a while. You might sense something's going on. They come home a bit closed. Give them space, let them know you've noticed something's going on, and when they're ready, they will often express their hurt. Those are the times we don't jump in with what to do and solutions. Really, some of the best things we can do is ask questions and ask them what's going on, what have they noticed, and what can I do to help you feel supported in the situation. So we're not telling them what we think first, let them know that we're listening. And then something else we can do is not assume that we always know what's going on in the situation. Very often as adults...
Note yourself.
we put on our own stuff or our own history or our own hurts.
Been there, done that.
I know. Don't we all do that? And so it's not assuming. It's really just allowing our child to vent and talk themselves. So you can hear the first 3 are all about them. Them talking, them telling us doing lots of listening. And then what we do is also, one of the biggest lessons our children can learn from this is how not to be a toxic person yourself. They will learn relationship skills out of this, as painful as it is. They will learn what a toxic person is and how not to be one, how to be a good friend. What does a good friend look like?
And should we be telling them this?
Yes. And so we...
modelling it for them?
Modelling and then asking them, what do you think a good friend is? How would you define a good friend? And they begin to tell you what that is and say, how can you act like that? How can you make sure that you never make somebody feel the way you feel today? And so they actually learn emotional intelligence through this. And I know it feels painful, but sometimes the most painful situations are the times our children learn the most, and then get them involved, find their own little tribes and their own communities, something else we've spoken about before, but make sure that they have support around them.
Great. Thank you so much, Collett, for those awesome tips. Get rid of the toxic people. Life's too short. Keep a look right here at Mums at the Table.